Welcome Sagittarius. Welcome to Keykey's Doorway. Let's see what's in store, or a sneak peek of what's in store for November 1st to November 2nd. November 1st to November 2nd. Oh my. November 1st to November 15th, 2018, Sagittarius. God, Gaia, God, Goddess, Mother, Father. What can Mr. and Miss Sagittarius past be used as a present for November 1st to November 15th, 2018? What can Mr. and Miss Sagittarius past be used as a present for November 1st to November 15th, 2018? What actions will Mr. and Miss Sagittarius be taking from November 1st to November 15th, 2018? What actions will Mr. and Miss Sagittarius be taking? Okay. Mr. and Miss Sagittarius, your past life wants you to know that you can use the present by tapping into who you were in the past life. If there's any biblical leader, prophet, messenger, story that resonates with you, now is the time to look at the character, or not the character, but the person's name, who they were in the narrative, and how they truly influenced others, and in what way. Mr. and Miss Sagittarius, you are natural healers, natural psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists. How you have obtained that was by being a disciple, a biblical influencer, or an influence to the masses. Once you reconnect with the being that you resonate with biblically, start Googling their name, Google their birthday, Google the colors, the practices they used, the teachings and education that they had. This will help you to understand why and how you're connected to this particular biblical character or biblical person in Old and New Testament. Every religion, spirituality, practice has a leader. You don't have to be a Christian to know biblical texts. The Quran has biblical texts. Judah has biblical texts. Torah has biblical texts. Kabbalah has biblical texts. Deities have biblical texts. Mythology has biblical texts. Whichever one you connect with, now is the time to further research. Reason why is because once you do that, it's going to lead you in the direction, in your life calling, in your passion, in your true passion, that will that gets you to keep going. You're half horse and half human. You're learning your biblical side of who you are, aligns the primal and the human side of you as one being. So when you tread in this life, when you walk in this life, you would exude trust, and people see you as a walking faith. And when people see you as a walking faith, they gravitate to that. Again, if you have phobias and fears, it's because you were once a biblical leader, a biblical messenger, prophet, deity, mythology that was and is still rings true. We still use biblical text, mythology, to understand the morality of how to live our lives. So yes, you're going to see at moments these phobias because through learning and teachings, a lot of the messengers and prophets had to have gone through harsh times. And that might be your concern of going through harsh times when you're aligning in who you are truthfully, Mr. Miss Sagittarius. But understand, in this life, that will not happen. Why? Because you had to experience these things in the past. So in your present, you will not have to undergo these phobias. You won't have to undergo these fears because it's in your DNA to know how to handle those things when it arises before you. The actions you will be taking. 8 of Fire. Yes, you are Sagittarius in the 9th house of completion, of going after the things that you desire. But before you do that, you're going to go into the unknown, the mysteries of who you are. What is those unknown mysteries? What is the fears that you have about being righteous? What are the fears that you have of having discipline in your life? What is the fears that you have of them? This will open the door of how to align these 8 discernments into a particular action. The more you research of who you are biblically, the more you will see why those phobias have an understanding to them. If I was afraid of the dark, could it have been where I had been a monk and a nun and I had to undergo isolation or punishment for my belief? So in this life, yes, I could be afraid of the dark, but if I research that because I was a monk and nun, how I could have been chastised and be in an imprisonment, how I can figure out a way to not have that occur in this life. And seeing that my morality or my moral fiber will always be with me in every lifetime. So events moving at a fast pace, you're starting to see once you unlock who you are biblically. Delays will be over and many things will be happening at once. But it will be happening in your own command. 8 of Earth. Your passions and your material needs and stability will be equally balanced. And you're using your 8th house of Scorpio, of give and take of others, people, money, and resources. You're learning about who you are biblically. You're learning about who you are through your faith. Because the direction you're about to go into, Mr. Miss Sagittarius, requires you to have trust and faith in yourself. And to know thyself a little bit more in your spiritual religious factor. So yes, the skill work that you have been doing to research who you are biblically, mythology, deity-wise, will help you to learn more there is to know about the topic and learning how you can use this topic in your material plane when it comes to your stability, your financial stability, your emotional stability, and your physical stability. Because anybody that is mentioned biblically, they had to face these very things to make them physically and visually a complete package. So whether that means going back to school, taking a workshop, a seminar, now we have internet and classes and courses that you can take where it doesn't require much months, but will still give you the same impact as if you had years of training. How you be using your skills to go forward, Mr. and Miss Aquarius, is by becoming the dreamer. You're connecting back to source. That would make sense if you have the biblical card and the healing and teaching. You're connecting to source by connecting to the source within you. And you're using your dreams to guide you on the quest of knowing who you are a little bit more biblically, and how your trust and faith is connected to your will, connected to the organizations that you're going to be meeting with, people that will definitely connect you to a higher understanding of who you are. And it will give you that energy, that passion, drive, that stability and value in moving forward. So Mr. and Miss Sagittarius, know that you are aligning more and more with who you are, spiritually and religiously. And just because you are aligning with yourself spiritually and religiously does not mean that your earthly desires or your earthly needs will go unnoticed. It's the contrary. You will get more of that bounty, more of those blessings. So we meet again. I love you, Mr. and Mrs Sagittarius. While you're going after your dreams, you're also fulfilling your spiritual and religious cup. I love you. We will see you on the other side.